It's why everyone's been searching Euphrates River on Google. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Bible Stories channel, a place that takes you on a journey to explore different biblical stories and sacred scriptures. Today we will delve into a fascinating study of a crucial element of the scriptures, the Euphrates River. This majestic river, mentioned over 50 times in the Bible, plays a vital role in biblical prophecies regarding the end times. We will dive into the sacred scriptures, unravel lesser-known facts, and learn about the profound significance of the Euphrates River and its relation to the Battle of Armageddon. Get ready for a spiritually enriching journey full of teachings and revelations. Before we begin, don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and share this content so more people can learn about this tragic event. This is why everyone's been searching for Euphrates River on Google in recent years. As the water level of the Euphrates River has decreased, various ancient ruins have emerged from its bed, becoming accessible. Some people quickly interpret this phenomenon as a fulfillment of the predictions about the end times found in the Bible. However, it is important to understand the meaning of the Euphrates River and what lies behind its drying up. Are there biblical prophecies that explain this event? The Euphrates River, which flows through the regions of Syria and Iraq, holds significant importance in the scriptures, mentioned more than 50 times in the Bible. Our introduction to this specific river occurs in the book of Genesis, where it is described as one of the 4 rivers that flowed from the Garden of Eden. Genesis 2 verses 10 to 14. This garden was a place where humanity had an encounter with God. Although the identities of the other 2 rivers remain a mystery, the Tigris and Euphrates rivers are well known. The central location of this event is an area called the Fertile Crescent, a strip of fertile land extending from the Nile River in Egypt through Israel, and down to the south and southeast to the plains surrounding the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. This region, formerly known as Mesopotamia, meaning between the rivers, is a crucial element in our understanding of biblical narratives. If the Tigris and Euphrates rivers mentioned in the Bible are the same as we know them today by these names, it would indicate that the Garden of Eden was located in the Middle East. However, it is important to note that even a modest flood in an area can alter the course of a river. During Noah's time, a flood occurred that was not just a localized flood. This event drastically impacted the landscape of the land. As a result, the Euphrates River mentioned in Genesis may have been lost over millennia. It's possible that the rivers we call Tigris and Euphrates today are the rivers linked to Eden in the same way that the city of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, got its name in reference to the city in Judea in the Bible. In Deuteronomy chapter 1, God promises to give the Israelites all the land that stretches between the Euphrates and the Mediterranean Sea. In Isaiah 8, the prophet Isaiah uses the Euphrates as a symbol of the Assyrian Empire that threatened to invade Israel. There are 2 passages in the Bible that predict the eventual drying up of the Euphrates River. The first prediction of the Euphrates River drying up is part of the bold 7 judgments in the Apocalypse. The book of Revelation is a work that has a wide range of interpretations among Christians. There are diverse perspectives, from those who avoid the book due to its fearful character to enthusiasts who delve into its prophecies. On the other hand, there is a special promise of blessing for those who read aloud, meditate on its words, and apply them in their lives. Those who decide to alter the text of the book of Revelation, whether by additions or omissions, will bring upon themselves a unique curse. If anyone dares to add or insert information, the plagues described in the book of Revelation will be added to the experience of the guilty parties. Conversely, if there is subtraction or deletion of parts of the text, the part of the culprits in eternal life in the New Jerusalem will be removed. God clearly emphasizes the value of this information and revelations, as evidenced by the blessings and curses associated with them. The Bible prophesies that one day the Euphrates River will dry up to make way for an event of great importance. This river is discussed in the book of Revelation, specifically in chapter 16, which is considered the section addressing the near future. In the context of Revelation, the overall structure of the book is divided into 3 parts. Revelation chapters 1 to 5 deal with the present era. Revelation chapters 6 to 16 address the near future, and Revelation chapters 20 to 22 envision the distant future. The great Euphrates River plays a crucial role in the judgments that will occur during the final events of our world. These judgments begin with the 7 seals, continue with the 7 trumpets, and culminate with the 7 bowls. It is important to note that even with the severity of these events, the biblical promise is that circumstances will not become more terrible than what is outlined in these passages. The book of Revelation makes use of various symbolic terms like seals, trumpets, bowls, the dragon, and stars. The seals, trumpets, and bowls represent significant disasters that will occur. These events are so devastating that if left uninterrupted, they would result in the decimation of all human life on earth. As Mark 13 verses 19 and 20 remind us, "For in those days there will be such tribulation as has not been from the beginning of the creation that God created until now, and never will be. And if the Lord had not cut short the days, no human being would be saved. But for the sake of the elect whom he chose, he shortened the days." God will shorten those days. And the 7 bowls, also known as the final judgments of the tribulation period, will be the most severe judgments the world has ever witnessed. These 7 bowls of God's wrath are detailed in Revelation 16, verses 1 to 21. They are specifically called the 7 bowls of God's wrath. At this point, human iniquity reaches its apex and is met with divine wrath against sin. The Euphrates River plays a significant role in the 6th bowl. The first bowl brings painful sores to those who have the mark of the beast and worship its image. This plague is directed at those who have pledged allegiance to the Antichrist. The second bowl is poured into the sea, turning the water into blood, like that of a corpse, resulting in the death of all sea creatures. When the third bowl of God's wrath is poured out, the rivers and freshwater sources also turn into blood. In the 4th bowl, an angel pours his bowl on the sun, allowing it to scorch people with intense heat. The 5th bowl plunges the kingdom of the beast into extraordinary darkness, intensifying the suffering of the ungodly. The 6th bowl is the penultimate judgment of the tribulation and involves the drying up of the Euphrates River, as recorded in Revelation 16 verse 12 in the New Living Translation. Then the 6th angel poured out his bowl on the great Euphrates River, and it dried up so that the kings from the east could march their armies toward the west. Historically, the Romans believed that the Euphrates River served as an impregnable defense against possible attacks from empires located farther to the east. This impressive river spanned about 1,800 miles, 2,900 kilometers, and varied in width from 300 to 1,200 meters. However, when the Euphrates River dries up, it turns into a road, paving the way for massive armies from the east, including those from China, India, and Japan, to advance westward. There are speculations about the reasons behind this event, but the fact remains that the drying of the Euphrates prepares the stage for the coming of the kings of the east, a crucial event in biblical prophecies related to the end times. Some people perceive that the drying of the Euphrates is related to the global figure known as the Antichrist, who is often associated with Europe. According to these interpretations, the Antichrist and his forces ultimately clash directly with God. Then the kings of the earth gather at a place known in Hebrew as Armageddon. The Bible suggests that the drying of the Euphrates is caused by a divine act, specifically an angel pouring out a bowl of God's wrath, as described in Revelation 16 verse 12. This indicates that the drying is not the result of natural causes, such as climate change or human intervention, but a divinely planned event with a purpose. Of course, preparing the way for the kings of the east, and thus setting the stage for the prophesied battle. The Great Battle of Armageddon takes place in a location called Megiddo. But what does this battle represent in modern times? The term Armageddon is sometimes used more broadly to refer to any cataclysmic battle, especially if seen as a situation that would result in widespread destruction or annihilation of human life. In the context of the book of Revelation, the word Armageddon points to the final decisive conflict that will occur in the future between God and the forces of evil. The word originates from the Hebrew word Har Megiddon, meaning Mount of Megiddo, the anticipated location for this battle. The only mention of the word Armageddon in the Bible occurs in Revelation 16. According to Revelation chapter 16 verses 13 to 16, evil spirits, symbolized as frogs, come out of the mouths of Satan, that is, the dragon, the Antichrist, who is the beast, and the false prophet. They perform miraculous signs and influence the kings of the whole world to gather for the war of the great day of God, the Almighty. At this moment, Jesus returns to the earth with the armies of heaven. His feet will touch the Mount of Olives, and he will triumph over the forces of evil. The Antichrist and the false prophet will be thrown alive into the lake of fire that burns with sulfur. The rest of the rebels are killed by the sword that comes from the mouth of the one riding the horse, and all the birds feed. Now, coming back to the present moment, the exact location of Armageddon is not clear, as there is no mountain called Megiddo. However, considering that the word Har can also mean hill, the area of the hill that surrounds the plain of Megiddo, approximately 60 miles north of Jerusalem, is the most likely interpretation. Megiddo has been the scene of many conflicts throughout history, involving armies like the Egyptians, Assyrians, Greeks, Romans, Crusaders, and even Napoleon's troops. During World War I, Megiddo also witnessed two of the greatest tragedies in biblical history. These were the death of Saul and his sons, 1 Samuel 31 verse 8, and the death of King Josiah, 2 Chronicles 35 verse 22. Demonic influences lead the kings of the earth to gather their armies for a full-scale assault. The Antichrist will be in charge of leading this movement. However, Jesus Christ will return to the earth with the armies of heaven. His feet will touch a Mount of Olives, and he will triumph over the forces of evil. The Antichrist and the false prophet will be thrown into the lake of fire, as described in Revelation 19 verse 20. Jesus will bind Satan and establish his kingdom on earth for a period of 1,000 years. All things will be set right, restoring divine order. The Battle of Armageddon is a complex conflict involving a wide range of participants, including supernatural beings and the forces of good and evil. The drying up of the Euphrates River and the Battle of Armageddon are interconnected in the prophetic timeline. The first event, the drying up of the Euphrates, serves as preparation for the second event, the Battle of Armageddon. The opening of a geographical pathway to this battle is a sign that the final showdown between good and evil will culminate in a new era of divine rule and peace. And here we conclude our journey through this fascinating study of the Euphrates River and its significant connection to the Battle of Armageddon, a prophetic event of great magnitude. We hope this exploration has illuminated your understanding of the scriptures and the symbolic meaning that permeates each aspect mentioned in the Bible. Before we depart, we want to remind you of the importance of leaving your like, subscribing to the channel, and sharing this content. By doing so, you help more people to learn about these stories and teachings. Stay tuned for more exciting discoveries on our Bible Stories channel. Until next time, may peace and wisdom be with you all.